Antonio, welcome to All Things San Antonio podcast with your host and favorite realtor, Brad Burns, and
co-host and second favorite realtor, Ken Carter, and we are here with a very special guest from Clutch
Investment Group.
I was going to say Clutch.
Mr. Clutch
Mr.
himself.
Clutch himself, JR Hernandez. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this All Things San Antonio kind of gave you a brief rundown. Like everybody here is like here from some reason. We got to San Antonio. I'm a military brat. He's local San Antonio.
Okay.
So what's your origin story? Tell us your background.
Okay.
Bring us up to today.
So I'm native to San Antonio, born and raised. As far as we can remember, on my mom's side, they're from the San Antonio area.
Okay.
So as far as we can trace them, they're like Hondo, Pleasanton, Poti, like stuff like that. And then my dad, well, he's from Mexico, but he came when he was like 4 years old.
Okay.
So that's like my background, my heritage too. Hardworking people. Taught me how to work real hard, blue collar, and native San Antonio.
What side of San Antonio?
Northwest. So I stayed by, I went to Holmes High School, Marshall High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question in San Antonio, how we get around to asking where they're from, like, hey, what high school did you go to?
Yeah.
That's how we figure out what area you're from.
Yeah, exactly.
I was far east side, Judson, baby.
Yeah.
Back when we were winning championships, I'm that old, so.
Okay.
Back when they were good.
So now you're doing investment stuff. You got into wholesale, like what? How did you get to where you are to doing this? What was your? Were you always doing real estate, or what was your?
You want the short story or the long story?
The 20-minute story.
Today we got time.
I got a long story for that one.
Yeah, tell us the whole
So
story.
I fell into wholesaling, right? So when I first had my first business, I just wanted to do anything besides working with my dad in the warehouse. I hated it, right? So like I think we could all relate to that, right? Having a job you hate, like a 9 to 5, and I didn't even want to wake up in the morning. Like I hated the job so much, right? So I worked in a warehouse, got grease all over me every day. We sold, or my dad worked at this warehouse where we sold 18-wheeler parts.
Yeah.
So it was like an AutoZone, but I would say for 18-wheelers.
Yeah.
And so I hated it. I said, bro, I'll do anything besides this. So I was like, man, what do I know how to do? What can I do to make money? Right, so I started becoming like entrepreneur minded, and what I discovered was, well, shit, I don't really know much, and I don't have a lot of money. I don't have any money.
We're all just figuring it out.
Right? Yeah. So I was like, I don't know much. I don't got no money. Right? And none of my parents have like a skilled trade or anybody in my family. I just work, 9 to 5 jobs, and so I was like, you know what I could do? What can every kid do in America at 18, 19, 20 years old? What does every kid know how to do? Cut some grass. Right, I knew how to do that. So I was like, you know what? If I could cut 2 yards a day, that's $80. That supplements my income at this place. I think I can hustle 2 yards a day. I'll knock all day, and I'm sure I can get 2 yards. So I was like, that's my plan. I'm gonna do that. And it turns out that I even sucked at that. So I sucked so bad. I sucked so bad, bro. I couldn't even use the weed eater, and I didn't even know that because my dad would do that part. I would just cut the grass. And so I'm like, damn, I gotta use the weed eater. So I sucked so bad, bro. I was messing people's lines up. They didn't even want to pay me because it's like all
like
crooked.
a bad barber.
Yeah, exactly.
Push their angel back.
Yeah, so I was like, man, look, I need some tools, man. I need that. So I was like, so what I had to my name, I stayed at my mom's house, right? Didn't have any education. I was like, I'm a big car guy.
Yeah.
So my first car was a Mustang 5.0. Fox body.
What year?
89.
Oh, man.
So, if you're from San Antonio, we're like a Mustang city for some reason, right? And so I had a Fox body, candy red, Cobra rims. I had a little nitrous on it. I pushed a little button, spurred some nitrous out of it.
And you don't realize, I graduated in 91. Like, the 89 Mustang, like the 5.0, like all the cool kids at Judson, like there's probably like 10 of them.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of them. I had a 1979 pickup truck.
Okay. Well, that was it.
I loved it, dude.
Yeah. It was cammed out. It sounded like it was going to shut off, right? To that muscle car.
Yeah.
And I was a menace in that car, man. Holmes High School, Marshall High School, whatever. I was a menace in that car, right? And anyways, I loved it to death. It was my first car. I built it from scratch. I bought it for like $2,000. Anyways, I loved it. And that's all I had. So I was like, I got to sacrifice it, right? They say you got to sacrifice things to get something you never had, right? So that was all I had. I had to sacrifice it. It's a crazy story. So I actually had some guy. That was how I was going to fund my first business, to buy a pressure washer, a trailer, a little truck, start branding it, and start selling jobs. And I took it. I was going to start my business the next day. I just fixed everything, painted it, fixed the tranny and everything. Some guy was coming from Houston, gave me $5,500. And that's how I was going to fund my first business. So all I had to my name. Took it to my dad's friend, mobile mechanic that worked out of his house, to fix one little thing. I wanted it perfect. And I was like, all right. So I went to go pick up the next day and it was gone. And I was like, wait, where's my car at? So I'm like banging on the door, man. I'm like, man, where is my car at? And he finally comes out like all sad. And I already knew where this was going. I was like, no, like my life is ruined. Like this is I was imagine being so excited to start your first business, get your friend, and then that. So it was crazy roller coaster ride. So I'm sort of deflated. He says he wrecked it, totaled it. And I'm like, what? And I'm just so pissed, but like, what can I do? Now I'm not gonna lose that and go to jail. So I'm like, take me to my car. So takes me to a frame shop down the street on Marbach somewhere, and it's there. And the guy comes out and says, yeah, bro, it's total. And I'm like, what? Like all my hopes and dreams just crashed. And I think everything happens for a reason, right? So like, and I think that's a good story and like a good analogy for becoming an entrepreneur, because it's hard, right? Like you have all these hopes and dreams, but then once you really start, it's just like life kicks you in the ass, reality, right? All this stuff you got. So it was like perfect way to start, because that's the reality of shit. And I was just like, man, what am I gonna do? And it was my first like experience, so I was like just done. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm all depressed. I don't even want to wake up. I'm like, man, I'm stuck in this damn warehouse for another who knows how long, because you know what I mean. And luckily, bro, like, I think it happens for a reason. There's like divine intervention. Luckily, my mother sells insurance, and she had put some clause on it that's called an antique clause. I still don't know what that is to this day. So what that means is, since it's so old, they won't give you nothing for it because it was in 2000 something, and it's 89. So there's no way to put value on it. So she put this antique clause, and that was like $50. She told me, and then she paid
25 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they went off of like of what you can prove.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I remember I had to go meet the adjuster, and I went to this frame shop to meet him, and he happened to be like a Mustang enthusiast like me. And it was crazy. I was like, what? He's like, bro, this is your car. Like, dude, this is the cleanest 5.0 I've ever seen, blah, blah, blah. We started going to money. He's like, man, I'm going to just max you out. So he gave me like $4,500. I was like, oh, my God. Like, still 1,000 short, but I was like, my dreams came back to life, right? Pumps a lot. And that's just the story of an entrepreneur. Like, you can go like, right? It's crazy. Yeah. And so it started just like that. And then I was like, all right, I'm ready. So I bought a little truck for $2,000, an F-150, single cab, roll-up windows, no AC, right? Torn leather. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a little trailer for my grandpa, $500. I used my dad's lawnmower and weed eater, blower, bought a pressure washer. And I started coming tech services SA, right? And my goal was like, look, what I'm going to do, and I'll tell people when they thought I was crazy. And I was like, guys, if you're watching this, people ain't going to believe in you in the beginning because you have no proof of concept, right? And you've never done anything. I was telling them, look, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hustle this. I'm going to knock on all these doors. I'm going to get all these contracts. I'm going to sell the company with bi-weekly lawn maintenance contracts. So I kind of understood business, right? I was like, I produce a bunch of contracts. That's cash flow. Plus the company truck and all that. That's worth something. They're like, yeah, whatever. You're going to be back in the warehouse, And so I hustled all summer long, bro. And I remember in the beginning it was hard. Nobody wanted me to let me cut their grass because everybody cuts their own grass, I realized. Yeah. And like if they had somebody, they're paying them already. So you got to convince somebody. It's harder than it looks, right? Because I'm not a little kid. Like a little kid, people feel sorry here. But you're talking about a grown-up wanting to sign a contract. It's a lot harder than I thought it was. Because it wasn't really working. So I was like, man, this is when I became an entrepreneur. I got to think of ways to like pivot. So what I did was my brother he does tattoos. And so he's good at drawing and stuff. So what we did was like, okay, look, what we'll do is we'll cut out stencils of the addresses and spray paint them. But we'll do a twist and put everybody's favorite team. So we did like, what's our favorite teams around here?
Cowboys, Spurs.
Longhorns, local.
Couple dumbass Raider fans.
A&M, A&M. We did like 10 of them. And then we went in the ditch and we spray painted them. And then we printed and put in a binder. So I learned sales. Nice. Right, so I landed on $20. Yeah. But then I had the pressure washer, but I could do this just like that, $20. Or I could pressure wash and then do it for $120. Most people just did the $20, but it opened the door to more sales. Hey, I can cut your grass too. I can pressure wash. So I remember, boom, it started working. We started making money, like a few $100 a day. Right? To me, that was money. I never seen money. And then the door opened to where now I'm making sales. I'm getting confident. And then I started getting people to sign this contract. So I can go 2 weeks. And I remember it was just such a high, man. And then I put it on Craigslist. If y'all watching that, if you don't know what it is, it's probably too old for you.
It's the Facebook marketplace. Back then.
Yeah. So I put it on Craigslist. I put the business, the contracts. It makes this much a month, $25,000, right? And I remember some dude had called me I'm so naive. I'm just starting in business. Somebody called me. My plan's working. Like, come bring all your stuff.
Yeah.
Bring all your stuff. I want something for my son. I was like, all right. And I put everything. I was all ready. My mom took me. And so just in case he was going to buy it, I'm going to leave. I remember he just made me a first offer. I accepted it. I was dumb.
No negotiation.
No negotiation. He said 15 grand. I'll buy it right now. I was like, what? You take it. I paid like 4 grand for this stuff. I knocked on a few doors, So I was like, that was my first dub. And I remember just being so high. I was like, holy crap. Like, it's real.
Yeah.
A 15K check. Like, you know what I mean? This is amazing. Like, I never seen no 15 grand.
That's not American dream. It's like people, like if you go out and come have an idea and you put some action towards it,
Yeah.
you can do something.
Yeah.
It is. It's just it's available.
Right. So it was just such a mind blowing thing. Like it shattered a lot of beliefs that I had. Right. Like it shattered a new. It was like I was giving birth to a new identity almost. Right. Yeah. Like holy crap, and so it's like, dang, I can really think of something, come through, work hard, and it can happen, And I could have probably got 2025 if I knew how to negotiate and wait a little longer. It was just like he offered. I was like, holy crap, take it,
The speed of money.
Yeah. So I was like, all right. We're gonna do it again. So this time I had this idea. It didn't work, but I was like, I'm gonna start 3 companies. It was like Thunder pressure washing, Bolt property maintenance, and Lightning landscaping or some crazy shit. And I welded a trailer. And I made it like the first like the sides come off and on and stuff. And I had this big. I've always been a marketer, so I went to the sign shop and I put 3 big, almost like bulletin board size things on the side of the trailer and on the back and just advertised. I was like, I'm gonna build 3 companies up and sell them this time, Just naive and thought it was gonna work. And anyway, so I go hard. I basically did the same thing.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of other contracts, but now I'm expanding into landscaping and like actual landscaping, like 18-wheeler comes and dumps some dirt, rent a bobcat, spread it out, 30 pots, real landscaping. Learning that, cutting trees, really good money, and my goal is to save enough money because I want to flip houses and build houses. And
what year is this?
This is like 20. I was 23 years old at this time, so I'm 36. So that was 13 years ago. So I don't know what year is that.
22 or 12?
I'm 12. Sounds about right. Yeah. So it was about that time, and what was it? Where was I at? Oh, so I'm doing the same plan, right? So I'm working for like a year doing this. I have an F-250 now, better chair. I'm doing bigger jobs and receipts. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put the contracts, the business stuff, and so I did, and I did it for like 50 grand this time. I was like, and I don't even know how I'm coming up with these numbers. Like now, I know there's like a certain way to do it to sell a business. I was just like, fucking 50, give me 50 grand. Yeah. And what happened with this guy? He worked with me. He was from Mexico. Didn't know any English, bro. Straight hard worker. I couldn't tell he had $1. He fooled me, right? And he comes up to me one day. He's like, yeah, I want to buy the business. I was like, man, we called him Ricky. I was chill, Ricky. Like, you ain't got no money. He's like, and he's a smart guy. He's like, look, I always had an ad for hiring, and I had an ad to sell the company. He said, I was interested in buying it, but then I saw you had one for hiring. So I said, why not apply and see if this is a real deal? It's not a scam. So he was smart. So I trained him, right? So I showed him how to cut the grass and do the landscaping and whatever. So I was like, Eddie, if you're for real, bring the money tomorrow. I'll sell it to you. He's like, but will you take? Well, it was like 40 grand. I was like, hell yeah, I'll take 40 grand. But it was like I said, it was a lot more equipment. It was a lot more everything. So he comes in, and I still remember this day. We're staying on Bowen Drive, and I just remember it, man. It was me, a few of my workers, some cousin, brother, and we're eat our tacos, drink our coffee, right? And he comes in the door with a brown paper bag, and he just dumps it on the table. All rolled up 20s, 10s. It looked like a lot because it was like small bills. And I was like, whoa, hold the fuck up. Like, let me gather this. Let's go count this. I took it to the back, and I opened up the freaking the safe, and I gave him, I was like, it's yours, bro. I gave him all the passwords, everything. He rode off into the sunset. And then I remember that day, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy, That was only a year after I started the first one, or like maybe 2 years max. And I was like, this is crazy. And I was like, man, what can't we do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like everything I'm thinking of, I'm making it happen, right? But it's just like, but the key to it is but working really fucking hard.
Putting the work
in.
We
work. I'm like a dog. Like, I work really hard. And my boy Anthony tell you, he's with me all damn day. I get there early and I don't leave till late. And even after I leave work, I don't go home, And so I work real hard and with intention and purpose, right? That's the key. You got to have like a focus. And I was like, man, what are we going to do? And so I remember, this chain right here, I designed, it was on a piece of paper, it says JRH. I was like, we're going to start a construction company. I literally drew this logo on a piece of paper. Just put my initials on it. And I was like, JRH Construction, we're going to start it. And my brother and everybody's like, you're crazy, we don't even know how to do construction. I was like, bro, we don't know how to do nothing. We're here. Like, what are you talking about? I don't even know how to cut grass. And he was like, well, how are we going to do it? So I don't advise y'all to do this. I don't even know if it's legal or what, but I did this. I started JRH Construction, got a DBA. I didn't even have an LLC. Downtown was like $10. That's what I would do. Yeah. And so I went to all of these Craigslist ads in different cities, far away, Dallas, Atlanta, freaking Chicago, and I'd type in painting. Then I'd steal all their pictures, save them. And then I'd type in like roofing, save them, flooring, save the pictures. And then I just did it in San Antonio. JRH Construction, we do it all. And then I just put all the pictures, painting, doing everything. I was just like, and I just listed it, right? Painting, roofing, sheetrock. And I was crazy idea, right? That takes a lot of balls. This is very bold, right? And they were like, you're not scared, bro? We don't know how to do nothing. I was like, I got this. So I was like, I remember going to the first, the plan was simple and it worked. It's subcontracting basically. I go, we're gonna learn how to do everything because I want to flip houses. I want to build houses. We gotta learn, bro. How are we gonna like flip a house? We don't know how to do no work. So it's like, well, this is the time, you know. And so what I would do is, so I remember the first lady that called me. It was crazy. I was so scared and nervous. It was for a roof. I was like, damn, bro, I've been on a roof, bro. Like, besides cutting a tree limb or something. I'm like, this is crazy. She's going to call my ass out. And what I did, and it's funny because I use this today when I train my acquisition agents. I go, to this day, I use this because I've been through it. I go, bro, don't get nervous. Just don't act like you're the boss. Don't act like you're so... you're so distinguished and expertise. Just act like you're the new guy. Yeah, that's what I did. I was just like, bro. So I knocked on the door. Said, "Hi, I'm JR. Came to do the estimate." That's it. I'm gonna go get the ladder. And people are like, you think more when you're like, oh, they're gonna catch me. You know what I mean? So I remember getting on the roof.
They don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. And then she did. I was like, I just came to do measurements and pigs. Yeah, exactly. So I go, I just get the measurements. Take some pictures, and so what I'll do is I'll just call like on Craigslist Juan's Roofing or something, get a price from him, send him the pictures, everything in construction is by the square foot. Yeah. Hey, here's the pitch, here's the pics, here's the square footage, what's the quote? You can do that with a roof, you know? So they tell me, hey, look, $3,000, whatever. Then I call AAA Roofing, do the same thing, and there's like 12, 15 grand. Okay, there's a big gap here. If I can just be somewhere in the middle, I think I can get this because I'm a better salesman, you know, than the other company. So then I would just set it like at 6. And then I would give it to the one guy and I'd be like, hey, look, and I'm just using that. I don't even remember the names or anything. It was just a small mom and pop company, right? A subcontractor. And so I was like, hey, look, bro, I got you the job, $3,000, but the one condition, like I'll work for you for free. I just want to be a part of it. I want to learn how to do a roof. And everybody's like, hell yeah, jump on, boy. Free work, free labor. So I learned pretty much how to do almost everything, just that way, selling jobs, making until I built my own crew, and then so I'm getting to the end right here. So we built the crew out. We ended up learn how to do almost everything. Me and my good childhood friend Cheeto, we call him. His name's not Cheeto. We call him Cheeto. Shout out Cheeto if you're watching this. He knew how to do a lot of stuff. He built houses since he was like 14, 15, and then my bro was with me on and off, and then, you know, we built a little crew. And then one day we were doing we got to the point where we're doing full remodels. And we're one of the rare companies that we kept the price low because I was doing the work myself. Yeah. So I didn't have to GC anything, so they're saving like 20%, right? Or however much they want to mark it up. If you don't know what you're doing, a GC will do it, mark up however much you can, right? Those trucks are expensive. No. Those trucks are expensive, right? Them 350 dualies, and they don't even work, right? And so I kept the price pretty good because I'm just having to pay labor and then what I want to make per day. So I didn't even know. I was probably shooting myself in the foot, probably like shooting. So all the investors got word of me. I started working with investors, and they would give me the keys and I'd give them back. I'd do everything. I'd only sub out what I had to: electrical, plumbing, right on my license, foundation. I never did foundation. But we did pretty much everything else. All cosmetic siding, windows, bath, kitchen, floors, right, sheetrock. So one day, I'm doing a full remodel. So if you go to my Instagram, Jared Cuz, you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see this house. It's the last one I kept there just for memories. And it's this shitty-ass crack house on the east side on Burleson Street. Before all the makeovers, back then, crack house. Like, I've never seen such a bad house in my life. And we turned this house, it was like over $100,000 remodel. Like, there was a lot of money pumped in. Made this house, it ended up selling for over $300,000. Right? He had bought it probably for like $50,000. So, crap house, right? We did an addition on it. We made it a 3-2. It was a 2-1. We probably added 800 square feet. You can still see the pictures this day. Go to JR Hernandez, scroll all the way down. You'll see it was a little pink house, and we turned into a little blue house. And the investor, he's still around today. Shout out to him. He were like the same age of the same. He were like 26-ish, 25, 26, 27. And I remember him specifically, like, we're talking in the living room. He said, hey, bro, like, you're doing this is your crew? Like, your prices are good, like, And I was like, yeah, it's my crew. I go, but hold on, is this your flip? Like, you're my age and you're doing what I want to do. How do you get the money for this? How do you find this house? I want to start flipping. Yeah. And he's like, oh, nah, man, like, wholesaling. You never heard of wholesaling? I was like, what's that? He's like, nah, man, wholesale real estate. And I was like, all right. He's like, bro, you'd probably be really good. You should look into that. And I was like, all right. He's like, you should get your license and go look for a broker that does, because you could do good. And I was like, I took it to heart. I was like, okay. He's like, and I was like, how'd you get the money? And he's like, oh, private money, man. I was like, what's that? He's like, I just, like, my friends and family lend me the money to buy the house. I'm like, what? Fuck. Like, I just wasted 10 years trying to save up all the money. I thought I needed like 200 grand to start flipping.
That's the biggest misconception that people have.
And I've yet this day to use anybody else's money, private money. But then I found out about hard money. That's what I ended up using. Yeah. And ever since that day, that was the last house I ever did for working for investors. Never swung a hammer again. And I just found wholesaling, bro. And I was like, holy shit, what is this? This is crazy. Like, signing pieces of paper.
How long you been doing wholesaling for?
So I've been doing wholesaling since 2017. So what was that?
8 years?
About 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then life's changed since then. It's been amazing. Then I found out, like, about social media and all that stuff. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how I got into real estate. That's the long story.
No, social media has changed the game completely, though, because it's taken, for me, like, I'm an old guy, like, I didn't really want to, but it's the only way to have a commercial nowadays. Like, you don't have a commercial on WAI or Ken's TV or something like that. Like, the only way you're getting people to notice you is, like, if you have some sort of...
I don't even watch TV anymore. I just do, like, social media.
I don't think anybody does.
Yeah.
We watch YouTube and Reels.
I watch a shit ton of YouTube, man.
Yeah, me too.
And so much YouTube. I was like, man, how's my whole life on YouTube right now?
It really is.
And even stuff like golf. Like, do you play golf?
I don't. That's the next sport because I'm getting older. I do boxing right now. I like boxing. It went from basketball, but then I transferred to boxing because my knees and my ankles can't do it no more. Next is golf.
Golf is the one. Golf is really like I said. Put it off as long as you can because as soon as you start, you'll stop working because you're just like, I got to focus on golf. I got to get better.
Yeah, and I'm pretty competitive too, so I suck at it. Like, I go to Top Golf and I can't hit it. I'm just missing and stuff. I hit it, like, I can't do that. Wow, like, that smack. Can't do it.
Swing softer. The slower you swing, the better it is.
Really?
100%. It's the craziest thing that you think of. Like, the easier swing, the better your swing will be, and it'll go farther.
Interesting.
It's all about tempo, and anyways.
Interesting.
I know, that's why I don't play. I'm like, man, I'm gonna miss the ball when I swing, and like.
Yeah, I try to, like, it's a bat, and I'm trying to hit a home run.
I'm like, I don't want to be out there looking dumb.
Yeah.
I'll take the Happy Gilmore stick.
Mm-hmm.
So you've wholesaling business and everything. We see you a lot on TV. Like, you do a lot of training and stuff also. So like, you've got a passion for the coaching side of it as well. Mm-hmm. What drove you that direction, and like, what are your plans with that side of it?
Man, we just see where it goes. Like, honestly, I just have a passion for filming. I've always been like that. So back, like, when I was young with cars, I remember having, like, a handheld, and I would record. We go to the racing scenes. That's when Fast and Furious was big. Yeah. So I go to, like, Military Drive, you know, right?
Southwest Military.
Yeah, and we go.
Southeast Military. They used to race right there by Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks was the section I went to. I wasn't so closer to 35 was the cruising section. Yeah, that's where the drama was, right? Where all the shootings and stuff. I was on the other side. I like the racing in Brooks. Once you cross the train tracks, the wash tub, all the cars would. And it was nice. So I would take my camera, and we had like a Mustang gang, right? Like a Mustang crew. And we were in the muscle cars, and I remember just filming. And then I'd like edit little cool stuff with music. And so I had a passion for filming. And then so when I got older and like now doing this, I watched a lot of filming YouTube. And there was this one guy, and his name was Max Maxwell. Do you know who Max Maxwell is?
I've heard of him.
So he's like an OG wholesaler. Like, he was doing it before it was popping. So not everybody's giving away the game for free. Yeah. He was the first one. And I was very inspired by him. And I remember I went to one of his conferences in Dallas. It was like 1,000 people. And I remember we met in the hallway, and we're just cool. And like, we ended up clicking, exchanged numbers. And he ended up, like, just for no reason. I think that's where I get it from, just to give back to people because it changed my life. And he was like, man, he texted me like, I want to fly you to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I was like, yeah, man, I'll go. And flew me first class. He was already a millionaire doing this. And I was like, damn. And showed me his whole YouTube studio and stuff. And I was real into his vlogs. Love the vlogs. And yeah, I remember we were sitting down. I was already doing wholesaling, making money and stuff. I was just didn't have no cameras. And I remember to this day when we were eating barbecue at a barbecue restaurant in North Carolina, which is not better than Texas, guaranteed. And he goes, hey, man, let me ask you something. How come you don't film? And I was like, that's not my style, man. I was like, people in my community, in my culture, they're haters, like crabs in a bucket. Yeah. And he looks at me and he goes, man, I'm black. You know that. Like, you can't tell me that. He goes, you can't tell me that shit. Like, I was like, true. I guess we're like the same.
Is he the one that had the plane and all that?
Yeah. He got a big beard. Yeah. So I was like, then he's like, nah, man, like people, like, he goes, what'd you see at my event? It was like 1,000 people. I go, about 1,000 people. He's like, yeah, but what else? I was like, yeah, your community. He's like, man, what'd you see? He's like, yeah. He's like, your community, your people. He's like, man, I'm inspiring my community, people that look like me. And he's like, there's nobody that looks like you. And that's a big population. Like, you need to inspire your people. Like, all that, like, you know, there's like a bunch of Hispanics or Mexicans, but like, they're like, I don't know, I'm like dark skinned with an edge up and stuff. Like, you know, it's like the usual look, right? And like, I'm like, you know, like gold and cool cars and stuff. And he's like, you need to do it for that, man. I was like, damn, I didn't think about that. And I remember the first day I got back, I went straight to my boy Sheik, and he did work for HBHS back then, and would do their stuff. And I was like, you want to do a vlog, bro? He said, yeah. And then ever since then, just took off, bro. Like he was right. There was a demand for somebody that looked like me that does real estate investing. So that's how it all started, just doing that.
For sure. It brings it to, like, it's possible.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people will seem like, I don't look like that. I don't sound like that.
Yeah. I like to say, just be yourself.
Yeah.
I'm 100% just myself. Like, when these cameras are off for guys, nothing changes. Like,
there's a shit ton of money out there. There's enough for everybody. Mm-hmm. And, like, the person that's going to relate to you is not going to relate to me.
Right.
And everybody can be lifted up. Like, you've got your own podcast right now. Like, you do yours like in the barber chair.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
So like it's different. It's like it's so relatable because it's authentic. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're not authentic, no one's gonna give a shit about what you have to say. So it's all bullshit.
Exactly.
Because they can't trust you.
Exactly. So I think that's a big thing, and like, so I can't lie here and be like, oh, bro, I just have a passion for teaching people and all that. I think it just comes naturally. Like, I do like to help people, don't get me wrong. It's awesome to see somebody you know, they're trying to figure it out and I'm the guy they relate to and I can help them. That's cool. But it's more about, like, I'm just trying to add value because I just feel like that's the key. So I feel like the universe works in mysterious ways, and it's very simple. The way the universe works is basically like what you give is what you get. So I give a lot of love to my community and I just try to add value. And I don't try to get nothing from nobody because to this day I still don't really charge for nothing actually. And it's expensive having my boy Anthony follow me around all day, every day. Like, you know what I mean?
You got the Rolex and the chains.
Shit, that should cost a lot, man. So, you know, I can't really say. It's just, I have fun, man. This is fun. Like, this is what I like to do more than anything. Like, this is my favorite thing to do. It's just make content with guys like you.
And I think that just goes back to, you said you're a marketer at heart.
Yeah.
Like, that just goes back to that.
Uh-huh.
And then same thing with me. Like, I've always been like teaching real estate, like showing everybody how exactly we do everything. Because you can say just as good as I can say, like, you can show 100 people exactly what to do, and one might do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe one. And but like, I'm sure, like, just like me, like, I'm sure there's deals that come around because you took the time to teach people and show people.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm giving value.
Yeah.
So the universe is going to reward me.
Absolutely.
You cannot add. I always tell people this, like, dude, just work your ass off and focus on giving value. I don't care if you're the janitor. Give so much value to that school. Treat everybody real kind. Be the best you can be. I guarantee you're going to get rewarded. It's going to come. It might not come directly from janitoring. It might come from over here. Who knows where it's going to come from, but it's going to come. You're just trying to be the best at what you do. Do the best at what you do.
I always relate that back to the Bible. It says all hard work leads to a profit. Mere talk leads to poverty. Like, it's the same thing. Like, you put in the work, and it's going to come from somewhere.
Exactly. It might not come directly either.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, all this, I put in a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort. I don't make any money directly from this, but like you said, deals come in.
Yeah.
We get a lot of money from that, right? Because we built a whole company off that whole investment firm. So it's not indirect. but you know what I mean. But it's direct.
Yeah.
100%.
So tell us a little bit about your investment firm.
So the investment firm, the main thing we do is wholesale houses. So what we do is we have a large investor database, and we basically help people sell their deals. Right? We don't do any marketing. I don't cold call. I don't do PPC. I don't do any sort of direct to seller marketing. This is my marketing. So my brand, I push my brand and tell people I buy houses. That's what I do, and so they send me leads. And that's how we build relationships. We've done. I don't think we've connected yet. No, we have. We've connected on a few.
We've got a couple of them. Yeah. Get them done.
Yeah.
They ended up having some other issues. That
some title issues and stuff.
Flood zones.
Yeah.
It's always a flood zone.
Yeah, stuff like that. But so we end up building relationships with with different people, realtors, wholesalers, whatever. But that's how that's what it's become. And then it's basically 3 legs of the firm, right? So the first one is the wholesaling. That's kind of the breadwinner. And then we do this. That's one leg, right? We do media. And then the next is actual investing, buying houses, flipping them, building them, holding them, whatever, investing in real estate, putting the dollars into real estate. So it basically, I believe in if you're going to do something, they should all benefit each other and work together. So it's like we're kind of building vertically.
Yeah.
Right? I don't believe in don't get me wrong, I've seen a lot of guys and they build horizontally and they do great. Whatever. Yeah. They have a restaurant business, then you have a car, whatever. But
you see a lot that don't go great, because they don't correlate with each other.
Right, it's like a jack of all trades, right? So me personally, I like to master one. Everything benefits each other. So every time I'm doing this, it's benefiting my wholesaling company, it's benefiting my investment portfolio. Right? So and vice versa. Anytime I'm investing, I'm filming it, so it's boosting my wholesale and everything. Every time one goes up, they all go up. And so I just believe in building up and mastering. So eventually, who knows what it'll turn into. I want to be a developer. That's my goal. I still haven't built anything to this day, but I'm about to. And I think that's when the real wealth.
What are you thinking? Like single family, multi-fam?
I don't know yet. I'm going to start single family just to learn the process of building.
Yeah.
I've never built a house. So that involves a lot of things, right? That involves city planning. That involves architects, engineers. It involves
utilities,
funding. It involves a lot of things. That I've never dealt with. So I'm going to start just learning the process of building, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah.
Went to a super cool event. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
My days blend together. But it was Build San Antonio.
Okay.
And
community, local community?
It was from the Business Journal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they had the people that built the floodgate apartments. I'm not sure if you've seen that.
I was gonna get I stay at okay. I actually canceled it. So that's off market. Can you take that out? Yeah. Okay. So before I got that, I was actually gonna go there.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So you can leave the laugh in that school, but just when I say just take it out.
Just bleep, bleep.
Doing like a bleep.
But that's where I was gonna go.
That's awesome.
I personally just didn't. I mean, that just really cool.
Yeah,
when you just drive up and it picks up the car and takes it for you. That's cool.
So I looked at because we're super into development, right? Like we were over off Montgomery and Glenmont. There's like this little area that has like a bunch of duplexes and
fourplexes.
It's right there. Really interesting. And so I'm always interested like how they convert like a small space in like the floodgate. It's on 0.24 acres. That's it.
Mind blowing.
Crazy what they've been, and then you've got,
so it's on 0.24 acres. You know what the city has it assessed at?
Like the lot?
42
the whole thing, like 42 million on 0.24.
I know how much it costs to build it. You know how much it costs to build it?
No, tell us.
20. That's a good little lick right there. Well, that's what she told me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
Hey.
Or you know what? Bleep that too. But that's what I heard.
That seems real. We're trying to figure that out. Like we're trying to figure like what kind of return on investment you're looking for, because it's.
They're paying $1 million a year in taxes, property tax.
Jesus. They paid $500,000 just as SAISD.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I was gonna stay there. It was a great place though. They had crazy technology. The car thing blew my mind, but for me, I just didn't like the amenities that much. Like the pool was too small.
Yeah.
Like where I'm at, it's amazing.
The car thing is a flex in its own.
That was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That was super crazy.
I've been inviting people over just
and you're right. So that's what I was thinking too, because
that's what we want to do. Like having that development. You're talking about doing development. That's where we're kind of like that downtown development, that multifamily and stuff like that. Yeah. Those are the like.
Well, the best guy in the city is what's his name? The one that built the Frost Tower.
The architect.
The one that owns Rackspace.
Grand Weston.
Yeah.
Grand Weston.
We actually met
Yes.
him. Yeah,
So
You met him?
He was there at the event. The
Really?
breakfast.
he did 300 Main, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did 300 Main, did Frost.
And then he has the Weston
The
Center
The Weston.
downtown.
I think he's buying like a few more right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the big dog. That's
Oh,
the
for
biggest
sure.
developer in the city. I think he's leading
He's
the new
part of the
Spurs.
Pearl,
That whole
Yeah.
thing with I forgot Project Marvel. Or
All his
something
other
like
projects become more valuable with that down there.
that. Man, that's crazy. I want to be like that guy for sure.
Well, it's generational. Like he's done a lot. Like he's created like a net worth that on his own with his own like
Rack
dogs
space and stuff, yeah.
with rack space and all that. But his parents and grandparents, like they're all real estate. Like
Really?
they go all the way back. They have real estate in England and London and stuff like that. Like
Oh.
they're multi generational. And the
I didn't know that.
the quick short version for Rackspace, which is really cool because back in the 90s when there's first networking, like you didn't have Wi-Fi in the building, you didn't have like LAN cables going everywhere and stuff like that. The guys that had started Rackspace needed money. So they went to the Weston Center because they were getting a contract to wire the building. And so they went to it and they said, they had like a flip chart, talking about proposals, had a flip chart where you just like a presentation. And they go, the first thing was an NDA. He goes, we need you to sign a non-disclosure. And the guy's like, we're not signing it. The guy they were meeting with, who they thought was the general manager of the building or whatever, he's like, we're not going to sign a non-disclosure. And the guys they sat there and said, okay, they went to the last page and said, this is how much it's going to be then. If you're not going to sign that, we can't tell you what we're going to do, but here's the price. And so that guy was actually the head legal counsel for Graham, went up and said, well, there's these three guys. I don't know if they're right for the building, but you probably want to meet with them. And the guy's like, okay, what else are you doing? And they go, well, we have this thing called Rackspace. And he goes, here's $1 million. And that's how it started.
To buy into the company?
To fund it. And so that's how
fund Rackspace?
They needed funding because what Rackspace.
Oh, so he was a startup investor, like an angel
he
investor?
was the first an angel investor for Rackspace because Rackspace in general, what it was is like
the founder.
No, so there's three founders, Richard Yu, I can't think of the three guys' names.
Pat something.
Pat
I looked it up,
Pat Condon and Dirk Elmendorf are the three guys. And so they were Trinity University students. And so they thought of the idea of like, okay, instead of someone buying a server, putting in their office and hosting their website, we'll have the servers and you'll just get a piece of it and we'll manage it and everything. You have your website on there. And so it was very capital intensive because you had to buy all the servers.
Yeah, I mean, they
so
filled
they
up
were
a whole
selling
mall with this shit.
they're selling a lot of, they're getting the contracts in, but they couldn't buy enough servers because it was too expensive, and so they needed capital, and so that's what Graham said. Well, I'll give you $1 million to go buy the servers, and he became part of the company.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's like the PayPal story.
And
of
all
San
because they
Antonio.
had the balls. They literally just say like, oh, you want to sign the NDA? Well, here's the price. They held to their standards, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, if it's either good or bad, this is what's going to happen. And then Rackspace started and all this other stuff and everything.
Wow.
It became what
And it
was.
made the four of them crazy.
Yeah.
Rich, crazy
That's what I'm
rich.
saying, yeah. It's
He's
crazy
like a
rich,
billionaire, right? Or,
Oh yeah.
He's a billionaire.
And even then was living in a mobile home on acreage and wearing Reebok like the green, like such a home guy,
dad
such
shoes.
a nice guy. He's a really good guy, very gracious.
I feel like that's a common thing. Rich people are like so chill, they don't have that flashy.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it was like if you come from money. Like I
It's
think
different,
it's
yeah.
different
Normal.
because you were like if you were poor all your life, you get some money. Oh, I'm buying that Rollie. I'm getting that Corvette. And I'm putting up shiny
I
boy.
got a little gold chain that says my initials. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I can't because I can't stand like when they put like on the internet on Facebook they're like Quavo net worth 20 million. Bill Gates all playing right and he's all chained up.
Yeah.
Net worth $1 billion. I'm like, bro, they got two different backgrounds, man. Let them live. Shit, I'm pull up in the Z06.
I mean, you gotta enjoy it. I mean, that's the thing. You gotta enjoy it, but as long as you're able to upkeep it.
Yeah, well that's.
Even then,
There's a lot of people go broke trying
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
that's
rich,
key.
and
Yeah.
I don't think that's what you're doing. But I think a lot of people
you
do.
know what? That's athlete money.
Yeah.
That's when they go like this.
Yeah.
See, our stories is we're grinding from the mud and it's slow a process. It's like it didn't happen in one day. That's for them. It
Yeah.
happens in a day.
happens
They
in a
literally
day.
just sign a name and they're
and
rich.
then it's gone in 10, 15 years.
Because
and-
it came as fast as it
Yeah.
left, right? But for us, it's a slow process, right? It's a slow process.
But also it's the knowledge of how to make it.
Exactly.
It's not like it's just not given to me because
And everything- yes.
of a special talent that I can do for a little bit.
Yes.
It's like we know how to create
Yeah.
wealth.
Right, and the process that comes along with it, right? Taxes, accounting, bookkeeping, sales, all that's marketing, all that's part of the wealth creation, right? Like how to keep it, how to create it, how to all that.
But that goes back to just like you talked about knowing how to create businesses. Like they only got one body; they can't create.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Their body again to run it back.
Right. Right. But they make a shitload of money, though. Like, what they can create in that 10-year span is more than I can create probably ever. So,
it depends on the ones, though. Like,
well, you know what I mean. I'm talking about the big dogs. I'm talking about the big contracts.
Have you seen? You know how many like what's his name? Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh yeah, he's a smart one.
He owns like 30 different types of franchises.
That's rare though.
Like he owns like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy, but the
like LeBron James and stuff, man. They're smart men, man. Billionaires. But then you got like Allen Iverson's.
I hate LeBron James. So I don't care.
Yeah, you're a Michael Jordan guy.
It's not even that. It's like I think he's hypocritical. I'm not a fan of some of his.
Yeah,
not a fan of
I can say that very arrogant.
Yeah.
They are arrogant, man. All arrogant.
But he got out of the mud too. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
I just have to say I hate him.
And
I like LeBron James. I think he's cool.
But I think that's one of the things that make people like us maybe a little bit different because a lot of people come from money and they don't ever get that grind. They don't get that hustle in them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like I'm from the east side, like we have a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm gonna come in, like you talked about, early, late.
I'm gonna work my ass off.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah,
that's the thing
man.
people don't see with like the videos and all the other stuff like that. They look at him like, oh, like that's easy.
Yeah.
But the content creation is another full-time job on top of what you're already doing.
Man, I think content creation is harder than making money because, especially nowadays, like there's so much competition and like coming up with new ideas. Like, you know how much time me and this man spent on one reel that you see?
Hey, I was laughing at your chili dog one.
Yeah.
You seen that one?
I haven't seen that one.
That was crazy. That was actual real. Like that. None of our stuff scripted like that. My
Tell
dad's
Ken about
friends.
that one. Tell Ken about
Yeah, so we're at a boxing fight this Saturday, right? And I bought a table, so we're at the table and watching the fight, having some drinks. My dad runs into one of his old friends. And he's like, "Hey, this is my boy Chili Dog," and we're all laughing like, "What? His name is Chili Dog? And how the hell do you get a name Chili Dog?" And we're just cracking up, bro. He's like, "Yeah, well, he has some houses he wants to sell." All right, cool, man. So Monday or whatever, we go out to look at the houses, and it was crazy. It was scary. We made a reel on this because he sent us some houses. He's like, "Yeah, it's vacant." And so my dad stops at this house, and I'm talking about how you never just go, because he said, just go around the back. Yeah. And I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, my dad was already about to do it. I was like, Dad, hold on, chill. You never just go into, not in Texas.
Nah.
Go knock on that front door and make sure ain't nobody in this house, you know? And so I knock on the door, and then that's when the lady answered. Oh, shit. It was all real. I was like, oh, look, oh, shit. Hi, I'm here for Chili Dog. She was like, what? She was like, what? He's like, who the fuck is Chili Dog? And we're in the fucking South Side, dog. And I'm like, yo, my bad. I sound so dumb right now. I'm saying, I'm probably at the wrong house. And she's like,
everybody comes up,
yeah, and then the guy comes out about, who, Chili Dog? What the fuck? Tells my wife about a Chili Dog, motherfucker. Like, I'm like, we gotta get out of here, man. So I just tell her sorry. And then we go to another house. I'm like, see, Dad, my dad was about to go and just go open the back door. Can you imagine? It's scary shit. So I'm like, Dad, never do that, bro. Always knock on the front door. So that was all live. We were doing a vlog, so we chopped it into a reel. So then we go to the next house. It was like we were at the wrong house. It was the house across the block. So then we go to, and he was about to do it again. I'm like, Dad, you didn't fucking just learn your lesson. They go, hold on, man, knock on the door. So they knock on the door and somebody's in there, like a homeless or something probably. So we just take off, man.
Yeah, we hit that.
We call Chili Dog up and be like, man, somebody's there, man. So yeah, man, that's crazy. So yeah, but content creation, man, creating content is very hard. People sleep on it because like I've been creating content consistently with a full-time person for over 5 years, probably going on 6 years, every day. First of all, that costs a lot of money to have someone with you all the time,
especially without a return right away. It's hard to push through.
Yeah, you gotta see the long-term play on that, and it's just, so I've been doing it for a long time. So the funny thing is, like, the reason I even picked it up is because I was very socially awkward. Mm-hmm. I wasn't this guy. I've transformed into this guy. I've grown into this guy. I was like, man, there ain't no other way to get better at socially speaking than like just facing it head on. And I believe in that. Anything I'm afraid of, I go face forward because I feel like that's my most growth will come from my fears, because that's what I've been staying away my whole life, right? So I did it head on. Now here we go. We're getting better at it, speaking and just creating cool shit. It's an art. It really is an art. Like learning how to find hooks and put things in certain spots and pausing and zooming. It's all an art that causes that. That's the viralness. So
you gotta stop the scroll.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a full-time job. Me and my boy Anthony, man, we were doing it, and we We just want to create good shit, good fun, entertaining, valuable stuff. So
You're doing it. It's
That's
absolutely-
solid, yeah.
So we always have two secret questions.
okay,
We'll start with the easy one.
We gotta make sure you're gonna get it right.
okay.
What is your favorite breakfast taco spot?
Ooh, man, I can't give you that. Shit, nah. I like some holes in the wall, so
Those are the best.
Those are the best.
So
You
I
gotta
like
shout
one.
them out. Don't
I
gatekeep.
like. You're right. I like one. It's called Rosas. Rosas Cafe. There's like 3 of them. There's one on Gardena Street and Vance Jackson. It's like a little hole in the wall. It's like next to a gas station. Get the potato, egg, and bacon there. Psh, fire. Change your life. And then there's another one off West Avenue, right across the train tracks going towards Bassey. That's Rosas number 1. The other one's Rosas number 2. There's a third one they just made, but that's my favorite taco spot. Potato, egg, and bacon. Oof.
You gotta
Change
throw
your
some
life.
cheese on that bad boy too, though.
No cheese.
No cheese.
Straight with some green salsa and some salt. That's it.
That's a no. That's a good one. We always say as long as it's south of 410, like but south of the airport, you're better off.
Yeah, like some people like Anthony, bro. We go to I like juicing and eating healthy too, right? So we go to a juice spot and he orders tacos. And he complained, "Oh, bro, this taco sucks." I'm like, "Bro, we're at a juice spot. Why would you get a
Bro, we did
taco?"
this. We went to Revolution.
That's what it was. That was it.
Kim was like, "I'm gonna get a taco." I was
I
like,
got a
"Bro,
breakfast burrito. And
I was
it's
like,
not bad.
that's a green tortilla."
He was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Bro, why would you get a taco at this spot?" But shout out to Revolution. Y'all got good juices. That's what I get from there.
They good call. Dude, we go there a lot. Actually, it's a good place to meet. You never know who you're gonna run to at Revolution Coffee. Actually,
Yeah. Shout out Revolution.
There's always a right answer for this one. Like your favorite burger joint.
Ooh, man, I love burgers. That's hard. A favorite burger joint. Okay, it's got bacon, cheese, mayonnaise, some nice fries. Fuck, you put me in a tough bind right there.
That's a
man.
hard spot to get a good burger and good fries in the same spot.
Fuck, bro. Cause like Whataburger fell off. It used to just be
Nah,
so
yeah.
like when they sold it or whatever. It used to be so hit the spot. Everybody
There's a
knows
difference
that.
now, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like they're missing a secret ingredient, bro. I don't know what it is, but it just don't hit.
They got rid of the Texas, bro.
Yeah,
They
man.
make way for Portillo. It's like somebody in Chicago bought out Whataburger
All right,
to make it go down.
I'm gonna throw one that y'all probably never heard of.
There we go.
Super good. It's okay. It's Chris Madrid's sister, right off Woodlawn. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
pink
Diana's,
building.
huh?
Diana's.
He's never heard.
Diana's. You heard of it. Diana's. That's my.
There you go.
Diana's where I got fire fries. We might go after this. No, I gotta go boxing later. I can't. So Diana's right by Woodlawn with the pink building. Shout out, man.
I haven't
Fire.
been to that one yet, but I've seen people talk about it.
Yeah.
It's Chris Madrid's sister. But I don't do the cheddar cheese. I do the American cheese.
Yeah, that's a lot of
So
cheese.
because they sold Chris Madrid's.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like a different family. I think the family that owns Paloma Blanco on Broadway. They own that now also, and I think that's what they opened the Diana's. I think they opened up that one after they sold
Like a
it.
spinoff.
Really?
I think maybe it'd been open longer.
I thought it was his sister because they
could
had a
like
picture of
it may have
Chris
been his
Madrid and
sister, yeah.
stuff.
It may have been his sister.
And that's
like
what it
a while
is.
back and everything.
Super good.
Because I
Oh.
think she worked in the kitchen there, like
Okay.
originally or something. I was reading a story.
Very
on it.
nice lady. It looks like they're all family work there, right by Woodlawn Lake. You can go for a little walk after, walk that
Woodlawn's
thing off.
great. A lot of good property in there.
Oh, Woodlawn! I love Woodlawn. You catch me playing basketball there multiple times a week, pickleball, whatever.
Pickleball.
Yeah, go for a little
You got
jog.
gentrified. You got gentrified.
Basketball to pickleball.
Well, they actually
Give a guy a couple dollars.
they actually don't have. They actually don't have pickleball courts. They're actually tennis courts, but we use it as pickleball
My
courts.
boy made it.
Yeah, so those are my answers right there. I'm trying to think of something else, but nothing's coming.
For burgers, we always say Mr. Juicy.
I've never been there, but I heard it's really good.
It's phenomenal. Go the one on Hildebrand.
That's the only one I've seen. Yeah.
The other one's Northwest Military, like Vance Jackson,
Okay.
Old Whataburger. They built green building. The eat there because the fries will be better.
Okay.
They're
I'm
the
trying.
best fries in town.
It's solid.
Super crispy.
You gotta have good fries. I'm a big fry guy.
Dude,
Yeah.
the great food.
Okay.
Nothing's cooked till you order it.
We'll go try it.
Yeah, and they got bougie milkshakes, but you can't go boxing after.
Ooh, man, I'm going on date night soon. Shit, those are my 3 favorite things right there: burgers, fries, and milkshakes. Let's
Hey.
go.
Thank you.
Hey, appreciate you for coming on,
All
bro.
right, brother.
Appreciate it, brother. That was fun. That
Do
was
us
a lot
a
of
favor,
fun.
hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch y'all on the next episode.
Check out his Instagram, JR Clutch.
JR
Yeah.
Clutch, YouTube, Instagram.
And then what's your
TikTok.
podcast name?
Clutch Podcast.
There you go.
Clutch.
All things clutch.
All right, guys, stay clutch.
Appreciate it.